Ooh. A book about the Balespawn crisis. That's the... that's what happens in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. People's accounts on it. Of course I remember. Knew the second that girl was walking that she'd be trouble. Little thief always in everyone's business. And that ward of Gorion went right along with her. No surprise, a wicked god's blood was running in their veins. And this is a reference to the main character in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And Imoen, the little girl. And she's the sister of the main character. Even though they're not blood related. They are blood related because they were all the sons of gods of Baal. Anyway, they're all Baal spawn. And that was the whole thing about Baldur's Gate 2 specifically.
Maybe I'll need more pockets.
I'll definitely need more pockets. And look at that. A portrait of Fane. Oh, I could just get it. And I got it. Excruciatingly precise lines bring this portrait's undead subject to life. Despite his empty eye sockets, you could almost swear his gaze follows you, judgmentally. I didn't experience Fane's personality on camera because I played as Fane on camera, but he's one of the characters in Divinity Original Sin 2, specifically. And it's pretty cool. He's very judgmental. He's very specific of a character. So, where do we fall? Thieves' tools. We fall here, right?
No lock, no handle. How does it open?
Candles?
No lock, no handle.
No candles.
How does it open?
I wonder how it opens. But also, I wonder... Oh, I shouldn't be... Oh, this is where we came from. Oh, so that's a different area. Okay. Sounds. Bunch of candles there.
Anything of use?
Yeah, pile of books. Nothing else. It's a good place to die, honestly. If you mess around. The Curse of the Vampire. Yep, they have vampires in D&D. And quick save, 100%. The Unclaimed. There's a lot of things down here. A lot of similar books. By similar, I mean same book. They just bought a bunch of copies to pad up the sales volumes and be like, hey, this is a bestseller. Yeah, because you sent them all into a crypt. Or wherever we are. They did mention it was a crypt, didn't they? The Unclaimed. He's just taking that. There's a little rat somewhere. It's a book about a goddess, apparently. She was unclaimed. Like a kid at a market who lost their parents. I think. Chapel records. I'm not reading these plaques. I should.
You do not recognize the language on the plaque.
It turns out I shouldn't. Fine dust coats the pages in this weathered book. Beneath the bone-white powder, the dust, hundreds of short obituaries are recorded in the crypt. Huh. I don't think it matters. I'll just leave the chapel records there, just in case it does. Because you can take them, you can drag and drop any items.
How can I help?
No, you can't. I misclicked, sorry. So the crypt is not... Oh, there's more stuff over here. But not much. Uh-huh.
Curious. What did that do?
Oop. Did something to the right. Maybe it opened that door that didn't open before. It did open. Did it? Wait. I think it did. Was it this door? I I think it was this door. Oh, this feels spooky. Light all the candles. This feels super spooky. Although...
If everyone else minds their business, I'll be fine.
Let's sneak. A dank crypt. And a torch in the middle of the path. Well, we have, the Nautiloid crash region. Yeah, we found a way to the abandoned ruins. We did. Is that the only way, I wonder?
Wonder if the gods are watching me. This place wasn't built for the living.
On death and resurrection. Yeah, we already kind of came to terms with that, mate. Let's learn about it. It's the first time we see that book. Nah, they don't really, it doesn't really say much. We do have a gilded chest with a lot of junk inside.
Moving in.
All right. So we have heavy oak doors, medium toughness. I don't want to attack the heavy oak doors. Just light the candles. Oh, there's an opulent chest here with more knickknacks. Let it be. Let's go back where we came from. Oh wait, I didn't open that opulent chest. Turn the light on. Yeah, let's go back where we came from. Just make sure we explored everything over here. And this is where we came in through. So that means this is the only way forward. Either you come in through this room over here, or you go straight into the crypt. Let's go.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Although maybe I should rest. We can't do a short rest anymore. So let's rest, I think. Do you want to end the day? Yes. And we're all down here. Lae'zel as well, all injured.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
A monster forms inside us, and you think to be idle. I knew your kind to be fragile, but I didn't foresee the severity. Be quick about your rest. We must locate a crash.
What do you mean, my rest? You're all bloody. We're all gonna die. We need to pace ourselves. Don't you know an exhausted warrior is an ineffective one?
A thick-headed notion in a complex circumstance. Do you suppose the parasites inside us dare to rest? That the Geich do not still pursue us with each peal of the bell? Take your rest. I will stand watch. Should a single tentacle split your skull, I will not hesitate to end you.
Fair enough. There's bats flapping about. Mugwort. Why is there mugwort out here? Huh. Shadowheart.
What were you two talking about?
What do you mean?
You and that Githyanki.
You and that Githyanki. Okay, so are we... can we not... What is this? I don't like jealousy. That's not... I don't like that. Is she actually pissed? Wait, what? Let me... Is it jealousy? What are you two talking about? No, it is not. She's scared that we're conspiring against her. Let's put our minds at rest. Yeah, we were just discussing the next steps.
I see. I'd be careful with Lae'zel.
Ooh, I like that third option. I wasn't confiding in anyone. I was just talking. But is that assuming that careful with Lae'zel here is... Because she's very reactive. She reacts to Lae'zel being a shithead to her, basically. And so far, she's just been very reactive. So I don't know if I'm... I don't know if I'm... Because I think Lae'zel, I can push her and she pushes back, and that's all right. I don't know if Shadowheart is like that, and I wouldn't think so because of narrative logic. Having a team full of people who like you to push their buttons. I don't know that Lae'zel likes you to push her buttons, but that's not what I mean when I say push. But either way, you don't trust Lae'zel?
She's not of this world. I'd be surprised if our interests remained aligned. Let's hope we rapidly find a healer.
You seem reliable. I think you know how important it is that we find someone who can cure us. Best if we focus on that.
This is her telling us about herself, right here. This line right here. I think you know how important it is. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But if I were writing this, this would be like her telling us about herself. And what does this tell us about her? Is that she values the intentions of people. Which is interesting, if that's the case. Is that congruent? Does that align with what we've seen of her? I think so. It would make sense for her to there's all of her conversations are about trust so far, right? It feels like it's about trust. It's about her knowing the people's, her companions' intentions. It could be about other things as well. I like the third option. Let's not abandon all caution. This is unfamiliar territory.
Caution is a luxury we don't have. Let's rest and wake up at first light.
Why is Astarion listening in? Bruh! He approved of that. I didn't know that's how it works. So I assume she doesn't talk again.
Something the matter?
Yeah, I want to talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
How am I holding up in your estimations?
You're not the kind of company I'd keep willingly. But all things considered, you'll do.
And I haven't forgotten that you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. Perhaps I'll be able to return the favor at some point.
All right. That's it, then. Astarion, why are you listening in?
Do you mind? I'm brooding.
Excuse me, then. Wait, he really doesn't say anything. He's just brooding. Okay. All right. Setting the mood, I suppose. Do I want the ball? I don't know. I want the ball. Or at least not that one. Gale. He seems to be brooding as well.
Go to hell.
And good evening to you too.
Ha! You're a good sport. Go to hell. An everyday expression. So trivial it's almost meaningless. But we've seen hell. It's real. And it isn't trivial.
Well, it's kind of interesting to see this written in this game. Specifically because hell, with capital H and double L, is of Abrahamic religions, and it is a everyday expression in countries that are majority Abrahamic religions, I would say. At least Christian would be. I remember Pillars of Eternity having, obviously this is a game made for people like me. So this sort of normal day, everyday expressions are, they need to exist in the game. But in Pillars of Eternity, I remember they turn hell into H-E-J, I think. And so it sort of sounds the same, but it doesn't have the same implications. And it's interesting as well that he just capitalizes it. But it's more interesting that he talks about it being real. Because in classical times, and as far as we modern day people understand, in pre-classical times as well, the notion of an afterlife or what comes after was very much not a question of it being real. It's just of where it is, because you die, you go somewhere, and it's the underworld in the sense of maybe it's just below the earth, with which some traditions did hold on to and still do, obviously, but obviously not in mainstream religions. But the sort of notion of it, is it real? And here in Dungeons and Dragons, I don't believe hell is real in that sense. I think I'm not too familiar with modern, post Dungeons and Dragons 3 lore in regards to the planes, so yeah, it's sort of weird that he talks about this. What's on your... and by the way, it's real, we've seen it. No, that's what we see in I think the first cinematic, rather than the second, because there's that whole cinematic that's cut by character creation. And I think it's the first one where we see the ship, the Nautiloid, just sort of like in this weird expanse. And I think that's what he is talking about. What's on your mind, Gale?
Devils, dragons, mind flayers. They used to be abstracts. Pictures on a piece of paper. What a difference a day makes. Now we have tadpoles slithering through our heads like carnivorous feti. That's not abstract.
Oh, I think what he's talking about, it being real, is not necessarily in the abstract. It's just he's coming across what he's studied. I'm not too worried. We'll find someone who can help us.
That's the spirit. Let's be up with the lark. Find a healer before the wee one gets hungry.
Yeah, that's the spirit. All right, it's time to go to bed, I think. Long rest, end the day, hit points, spell slots, 40, fully resting. Let's do that. Auto select. Ooh, I don't have that much food. Or, wait, do I? That's 40 camp supplies. That's good, that's good. Okay, full rest. That was... What was the... I didn't like the... Either way, Astarion.
Yes?
You're not brooding anymore. Okay. Alright, that sounds good, but... I want to do something. I found out by briefly watching a stream of this game by Lord Lambert that you can actually customize this. Or maybe it's a mod. Maybe it's a mod, but you can change the positions of these things. We know we can do this, but what Lambert was playing with, like taller hotbars. That's what it is. It is not a mod. So let me customize this. All right. I have reshaped my hotbar. Hopefully it doesn't upset anybody. It's a little bit on the bigger side, but I think it makes it a little bit easier to understand where things are rather than just being a big amalgam of items and whatnot, or of icons. And this way we have basic actions up here for hiding and dash and things, and then we have melee attacks, ranged attacks, and then on this side we have other spells. Let me show you. Shadowheart.
Protects me.
We have buffs up here. We have protections over here, attacks, and utilities. And that way it's a little bit easier for me, and hopefully it is easier for everybody. Let's leave camp and explore this terrible everything up here. This dank crypt is what we're gonna explore.
Have to keep going.
Let's keep up with the ASMR. Oh, the oak, the heavy doors. Let's see.
With a flick of the wrist.
Difficulty class 10. I can definitely pass this easily, but let's explore the rest of the area first. How about that? So we came in through there, I think. What about these heavy oak doors?
Should mind my step.
There's a plaque. There's perception failed. That's bad times.
Stay vigilant. There are traps here.
Did you just step over a trap? Somehow? Okay, there's traps. That's kind of bad. What does this black?
The text on the plaque is a mystery to you.
I wonder if that was because of the perception. I don't think it was.
The trap. Just as I expected.
Oh, the sarcophagus itself is a trap. There's also a button there.
Open up.
Trap.
Carefully.
This place is more dangerous than I thought.
We've been finding traps since we started here, my dude. Also, it's a freaking crypt. What kind of...
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
There's gargoyle heads. Well, technically, it's the gargoyle. Although those wouldn't be gargoyles, but they would be just normal grotesques. But don't get me started on the definition of gargoyle. We're failing everything. I think it's just we're not finding the... not everybody's finding the gargoyle heads there. But I would imagine you step on those traps, the gargoyle heads spit gargoyle head stuff at you.
Looks like a trap there.
Don't step on it. I'm trusting them not to step on the traps, by the way. It also looks like Shadowheart is the only one that can spot them, so... Ooh, there's an ancient door. It's locked. Wow, you're so bad. How are you failing these checks?
Trap. Move with purpose.
We have an amethyst ring and some bone. We have a rapier and a shield. A studded shield. It's not particularly awesome.
I wonder what it's worth.
I wonder what it is, in fact. A soul coin. Strange, incomprehensible whispers emanate from this coin, pervading your mind with rage and despair. And it's really tiny, the coin. Looks like, I wouldn't call it a coin, honestly. It looks like it's just a gear, a cog, maybe. So, I mean, I suppose anything in the shape of a cog would be technically also in the shape of a coin and thus worthy of that name. But, you know. Ooh, don't touch that. Okay. All right, so we don't know what the plaque says. We have quick saved duly. And I will disarm it. It's easy. You have some guidance here. Pretty good. So we disarmed the trap. We open the sarcophagus and no lich comes out. We have a Watcher's Guide there and an engraved key that I imagine opens that ancient door in the back. And also, what is this? Should I give it to her? I think I should. Can you use this? Yes, you can. Pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. You should stealth. You should stealth. Okay, so that means... I actually don't think we need to stealth.
Here we go.
I was just being careful. What's the sound?
Breathe deep and move.
I don't know what the sound is. Didn't open that door. Did it disable the traps? Okay, this opens this door. I would imagine it didn't open this thing because it shows as locked. Right? Or maybe it disabled the traps. No, they're still there. Apparently vents. We don't need to disarm them. I don't think we get any experience. And that's locked. A brazier. I think this is just for lighting. Alright. Let's pick that lock. Although, we should definitely... Ooh, that's a tricky one. Let's add bonus here. We have 8 thieves' tools. We can do this. Right? No, we cannot. Let's roll again. Guidance is applied. I think we pass. There we go. Even with a relatively lowish roll. Oh, this connects to places. I say yes, we go to places. Oh? Well, that was definitely an easier check from the inside than it was from the outside. But I think that's just a shortcut to the outside. To a fast travel spot, no less. All right. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the other door. And we stealth.
Light on my feet.
And entombed scribe. Excuse me, Mr. Narrator. But that scribe does not look very entombed to me. In fact, that scribe looks pretty unentombed. It died there and... Oh, lost guidance, that's fine.
Armed scribes, but no sign of a struggle.
Yeah, it's a bit on account of the lack.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
Burning Hand Scroll. I don't know what you're talking about, Shadowheart. I apologize for that. Yeah, but they kind of looks like on the side of died there and stood there for the rest of eternity on account of not having nobody ever having entombed them after death. Do you know what I mean? What do we have? Some daggers. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need to be too careful here. Oh man, those bats. So we got some scrolls of protection from evil and good. I actually don't understand why it's called like that. Protect an ally against the attacks and powers of aberrations, celestials. Oh, because of it's evil and like it's from creatures that are alignment dependent, like angels and devils and things like that. That's an interesting way of taking it, because it used to be protection from evil, which protected you from any evil aligned entity at all, like even, you know, people who weren't naturally evil. But yeah, I think this is very pretty. It's a very pretty place. Ooh.
That's Jurgle, scribe of the dead. I didn't think anyone still worshipped him.
Gerbil? I think I read about Gerbil.
The inscription is in a language unknown to you.
It is. Death is too powerful a force for even a single god to contain it. It is a duty that has been passed from hand to hand, splintered into smaller pieces. Disease, war, funeral rites. But there must always be an overseer of the cycle as life falls away. For countless eons, it was Jurgle, the lord of the end of everything, capital L, capital E, presided over mortality with his unblinking stare until even he grew weary. Young Bale, Bane, and Merkul must have thought themselves conquerors when they came for the god of death. Yet he used their ambitions to free himself. Merkul claimed primacy? I think primacy. Over death from Jurgle's bargain, but even he does not rule death alone. What is murder, if not the most violent of deaths, seized by Bale in his incessant greed? What need would there be for noble Kelemvor to judge passing souls if one deity could hold the process entire? Even gods can die after all. Those who worship death should remember that above all else. That's a good book. That's a good book right there. I'm glad I skimmed it before, and I'm glad I still have it and didn't sell it. Because of, oh, there's a button there. Because of possible lore implications. Right at the start of the game, we're concerning there's a lot of the books.
That might be worth a look.
Is it the button? I think it was the button. A lot of books about death. But then again, if this is a temple to the god of death, or one of the gods of death anyway, it makes sense. We got a heavy key there. Maybe that goes somewhere. I mean, the key doesn't go anywhere, but, well, it goes in a lock, but we go past the locked whatever. I would imagine a door, possibly a chest. You know what I mean when I say, you know what I mean? I don't need to second guess myself, right? Just treasure. Just treasure. And a door. An unlocked door. We go in. This honestly doesn't feel very dangerous. Wait, do we go in?
Chained up book in a long abandoned temple. Ooh, temptation, old friend. We meet again.